As NORRAG and as Graduate Institute, we're very pleased to convene and to organize this meeting, this two-day meeting here in Geneva for a number of reasons. One, we're very pleased that we are convening in Geneva, in international Geneva. And Geneva is the humanitarian capital of the world. There's not much discussion about that. And what we've seen over the last years actually is that Geneva is increasingly also the location where discussions around education and emergency are taking place. So that is a very positive development promoted by including the Swiss mission, but also the Norwegians and the education cluster, for instance, of UNICEF and Save the Children based here in Geneva. So that's one. Two, the topic of education and emergency is unfortunately only gaining in importance. The numbers of refugees, the numbers of protracted crisis is not on the decrease, on the contrary. So being able to convene some of the stakeholders here in Geneva around this topic, looking in particular at the topic of the lack of data to make informed policy and intervention is a critical issue. So having people from different parts of the world and different organizational backgrounds coming together to talk about this is an important achievement as such. More so, and this is what will happen this afternoon, we'll look into an action agenda. It's not only about talking, but it's about trying to come up with action. Talking is good, action is better. So we do hope that this meeting here in Geneva will set an agenda for the coming months, the coming years, that will be able to also connect our community.
Well, we've been working on EIE data issues for the last year and a half or so, and really thinking about the gaps and challenges associated with EIE data. And so this is an opportunity to bring together many of the actors that are leading on EIE data and that are involved in many different aspects of EIE data, and really learn from each other, listen to each other, and start to plot out our ideas for ways forward. One of the key issues is that data is used by different people for different purposes. And one issue that kept coming up over and over again is that we need to focus on how people use data, what they use it for, and how we can improve the data architecture to support the utilization, basically the use of data. So we had a discussion just in the last hour or so about building up global norms around data, and I think focusing that on a use framework might be a good starting point. And those norms would really focus in on the architecture of data and data collection, the ethics around data and data collection, around data sharing and data dissemination and reporting, but really thinking about the end user and how we're going to make the data most useful.
One major activity that the network does is convenes diverse actors working on education and emergencies. So this was a chance to really bring together donors, practitioners who are actually implementing, academics, those who are working with data, to come together and really share information, build solid connections and networks, and really try to find ways to harmonize the work that's happening across the globe. And basically really also think about building on the work that's actually started last year in the fall at the UN General Assembly, when we brought together a number of academics, partnered with NORRAG and others, such as the Journal on Education and Emergencies at NYU, International Rescue Committee, and we came together to start a process around developing a global learning agenda for the sector of education emergencies. And then this event is actually really taking a deep dive into data related to education emergencies, data that's being collected by humanitarian actors, development actors. Where can we bring that together? And then moving forward through agenda planning and action plan, taking forward the next steps, and we see this as a series of activities. One of the things, this event really sparks future work. One of the things this afternoon we'll be looking at is an agenda, an action agenda from the meeting, where we hope to highlight some key outcomes that we can work on together collectively, and keep moving this work forward. And we're talking with our partners about follow-on activities, such as regional workshops, as well as more global workshops that are really looking at not only how to strengthen data in education emergencies, but also contributing to that global learning agenda.